This week on Wire Run TV, we're going to be talking about the runner's secret weapon. There's one session that great runners and great racers do each week that make them perform to their maximum on those big championship and big race days. Maybe this is something you can put into your training program in order to become a better runner on those big days yourself. So let's get those intros going and kick off this episode of Wire Run TV. Hi guys and girls from around the world, thanks very much for joining us here on episode 6 of Wire Run TV. Now this week we're going to be talking about my favourite session of the week. It's something which I really love doing, and I think it's one of the most fun sessions that we can do. And it's a lot of fun if you get together with a couple of mates and run this session together. This is the tempo run. So what exactly is a tempo run? Well, a tempo run is a continuous run where we're trying to push the threshold limits up as high as we possibly can go. So it's about a 7 out of 10 effort. So not too fast, not too slow, a bit like that Goldilocks zone. And I guess if you're running with a few other people, a good way to gauge whether you're running at the right pace is you should be able to ask the person a very simple question. For example, like where do they live, what's their address? And they should be able to respond with a very simple answer. If it's conversational, it's way too slow. If all you can say is yes or no, or give a 1 or 2 word answer, then you're going too hard as well. So trying to make sure that you hit that right zone, that 7 or 8 out of 10, that's the perfect pace to be going at. So the tempo run has a huge amount of benefits. Physically, first of all, we're trying to push that threshold level up as high as it possibly can go, which basically, in layman's terms, means we're trying to teach our body to use oxygen for as long as we possibly can, so that on race day, we can push our race speed faster and faster and faster without fatiguing as early. Also, I guess for me, the thing that I love about tempo runs is the mental benefit that you get from it. I guess when we're doing speed work or we're doing those easy or long runs, we're not really simulating what's going to be happening on race day. Whereas the tempo run is perfect training for race day. It really tunes our brain into mentally in being able to handle that strain, being able to handle that quick pace, that fast pace, and for us to teach ourselves that we can keep going at this pace. Yes, I'm tired. Yes, I'm breathing a little bit heavy, but I'm able to sustain this. So the tempo run is awesome mental training for race day. I think one of the best ways to get into tempo running is to make sure that you invite a couple of friends along with it. I know when I do my tempo runs, I try and grab 2, 3 or 4 people, because that idea of running in a pack is what tempo running is all about. So it can be quite difficult to run them on your own. So grab a couple of friends together, invite them down to the beach or into the trails, and go on a bit of a tempo run. That way you can all sort of take a bit of a turn at the front of the group. You can all sort of take a turn using the energy and the vibe that comes off everyone in the group. So for those of us who are beginning our tempo running, if we've never done it before, how do we actually get into it? I mean, the goal is to work up towards 30 or 40 minutes after a couple of years when we sort of train with tempo running, but that's difficult at the very start. So at the very beginning, think about a 4-week introduction plan. Week 1, with a nice little warm up and a warm down, have a go at 5 times 3 minutes at your tempo pace. After each 3 minutes of running, have a 60-second walk or a 60-second jog. Second week, maybe do 5 lots of 4 minutes at your tempo pace, again with that 60 seconds of walking or jogging with your warm up and warm down. In week 3 then, spin it around, have a bit of a look at doing 4 reps, 5 minutes at your tempo pace with your walk in between. And then finally in your 4th week, you can have a go at attempting maybe a 15-minute or a 20-minute tempo run continuously with your warm up and warm down. And that'll be a really good introduction. Ideally, we're working up towards being able to hold a sustained pace for 30 to 40 minutes, but that's quite challenging at the start. And so we need to make sure that we introduce ourselves into tempo running at a nice, gradual and easy sort of rate. So really importantly with tempo runs, to get the benefit out of it, is to find that sweet spot, to find the tempo pace. And it will take a little bit of practice, so give yourself a bit of time with it. Coaches have basically said whatever pace you run for a 5-kilometre race or a 5-kilometre event, add 30 seconds a kilometre to that pace, and that's kind of your tempo run. That's the sort of sweet spot that you should be aiming at. The great thing about a tempo run is that you finish the session, and if they were to ask you to run for another 5 or 10 minutes, you should have been able to keep going. If you're out on your legs, if you're out on your feet, you've been running it too hard. A tempo run, you should finish feeling energized, a little bit tired, knowing that you've had a good session, but also being able to then go out the next day and run again. It's not like a speed session where you would need a recovery day the next day, or a big hill session where you need a recovery day. A tempo run, it's comfortably hard, it should energize you, you should feel a bit of a buzz from it at the end and be able to go out again the next day and go for a bit of a run. So there we are for episode 6, guys and girls. Thanks very much for joining us. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about tempo running, and maybe it's something that you can put into your weekly program. If you're an experienced tempo runner, leave a bit of a comment in the section below. I'd love to know how you actually work it into your weekly program and the sessions that you kind of do. If you're new to it, good luck with it. Be patient. Introduce yourself to it slowly, have a bit of a go at that 4-week program, and hopefully you learn to love tempo runs as much as I do. They can really transform your race day, and they can really be an integral part of your weekly program. If you're racing this week, good luck. If you're training hard, hopefully you get lots of rest and eat well. And we'll catch you for episode number 7 of Wire Run TV next week. Cheers.